The electronic age has come on with a vengeance over the last 10 years. My kids are doing things I never would have imagined. Every industry is experiencing major challenges due to new and complex game changers like 4G LTE, virtualization, big data, cloud services, tablets, smartphones, ultra-high definition TVs, streaming video, the smart grid, robotics, telemedicine, remote sensors, monitoring technologies, RFID, drones, cybercrime, cyber spying, intellectual property theft, and the list goes on and on. I'd like to share with you some startling information on the impact of technology and its ramifications on the world around us. Over 6 billion people, or 87% of the world's population, hold subscriptions to mobile services. Subscriptions for 3G and advanced wireless services are growing 37% annually. Through 2015, virtualization for large enterprises will be about serving as the basis for private cloud computing. By 2020, business transactions on the internet, business to business and business to consumer, will reach 450 billion per day. Over 90% of American companies say they have been hacked. 105.1 million Americans now watch videos online each day. In 2015, the annual supply of industrial robots will reach more than 200,000 units. The Pentagon now has some 7,000 aerial drones, compared with fewer than 50 a decade ago. As a result of all of this, obsolescence of electronic devices is occurring at a much faster pace. According to the EPA, there are 2.5 million tons of end-of-life electronic assets discarded in the US every year, and only 30% of it is being dealt with properly. The rest ends up in landfills. So what does this mean for providers trying to keep their customers happy in industries like telecom, medical, cable TV, utilities, aerospace, data centers, and others? Well, they're forced to keep up with their competitors by constantly upgrading technologies in their networks, and they must keep their customers' data safe from criminal hackers. Removing massive amounts of old legacy equipment is creating awesome complexities. When companies were originally building out their networks, many of these factors were never even a consideration. Prioritization and planning, the overall costs to remove the assets, the federal, state, and local tax ramifications on capital assets that may or may not even be in use anymore, the time and resources required to migrate customers from one technology to another, and how to do so without disturbing the customer experience, or how about coordinating resources to decommission and remove the old equipment, terminating leases on the real estate in which the equipment is located, asset inventorying and tracking so that can be written off, environmental responsibility and information security in disposing of the assets, the logistics and warehousing of the assets, generating cash from the sale of the assets, and figuring out what to do with that capital. And most important, maximizing the value of the e-scrap. Today, this is called network lifecycle management. This explosion of decommissioning legacy assets is uncharted territory for many network operators. One of Urban Mining Squared's principles was instrumental in contracting with the largest US wireless carrier when, in 2006, they began a campaign to upgrade their entire network from 2G to 3G technology, and now 4G. This background and experience is extremely valuable in helping our clients formulate action plans as they embark on their own decommissioning projects, which includes an emphasis on cost reduction while maximizing cash generated from asset sales and resource recovery from the e-scrap. Like us, most asset management companies are capable of generating market value from the sale of reusable equipment. This is not difficult since there is a vibrant secondary market. The most difficult part, which is an afterthought for the majority of our competitors, is capturing the full value of decommissioned e-scrap. E-scrap generally represents a significant percentage, up to 80% or more of the total materials being removed. Companies shrug off this very important piece of the puzzle to their own financial detriment. This led Urban Mining Squared to develop what we call e-scrap resource recovery 2.0, a process that's up to 30% more efficient than what our competitors do, which is shredding, crushing, and grinding. Shredding the materials causes 10 to 30% of the items to become permanently enmeshed, after which they cannot be separated into the base and precious metals. That's a significant loss when you consider the high prices of copper, gold, and platinum that are all abundant commodities in e-scrap. Our clients think of these additional dollars as found money. Located at the base of the Rocky Mountains, just outside of Denver, Colorado, Our fully secured operation is outfitted with high-end lighting, specialized pneumatic tools, air scrubbers, and custom-built workstations. Our temperature-controlled environment has the capacity to process over 85,000 pounds of materials a day. Each worker wears OSHA-approved protective coveralls with HEPA filter breathing apparatus and gloves while employing disassembly processes and procedures developed in-house from time motion studies. The internal air is completely purified every 12 minutes, and the noise level is significantly lower than at shredding operations. There is no other facility like it in the world, and it represents a major differentiator from any of our competitors. Network decommissioning and investment recovery of legacy assets is a growth area for the foreseeable future. We are incredibly proud of the fact that we are constantly adding high-paying jobs for Americans. At Urban Mining Squared, we help our clients realize the full value of their end-of-life legacy asset so that the costs involved in their network decommissioning projects are minimized and the risks are mitigated. We invite you to try the Urban Mining Squared experience.